Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Today's Wednesday, May 21st, alright, 2014. Hopefully, everybody's doing good out there, as myself. So, today I want to lecture about, about AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, so we're coming on the brisk of that time frame of humanity where we're kind of going overboard with technology. I mentioned this in one of my previous ones where technology could be used for good or bad. And the way I see it, a lot of high scientists see it as well. We're taking things above and beyond. We're creating things. We're basically creating an artificial life type system, like a artificial intelligence. And I more than likely will not see the day. I might just think about this much. All right, in the early '80s, we didn't even have microwaves. We didn't have microwaves. All right, the telephone got invented sometime, I believe, if I'm not correct, the late '30s or early '40s. I'm not really sure about that. Don't that that's just me going off of memory, like looking at old school movies. I know they've had old school phones. The first phone looked really crazy. And yeah, so I mean, as far as advancement as a human species, we've advanced this last, so what, like 70 years tremendously. And we got to kind of like take a couple steps back and say, hey, you want to know what are we doing? Like I said, the first microwave was invented in the 80s, or maybe it was invented before that, but it came out in the 80s. And then we slowly started having different technology arise, the freaking cordless phones, and then the beepers, and then we got, the cell phone, obviously. A lot of computer systems were really old school when we first started out in the 80s. I remember I was probably about more than likely 7 or 6 years old when we had the first Apple computers at my elementary school. And I remember I was all mind boggled because we had like this this program called Number Munchers, and it was really I remember that. It was just a big deal. And then we had Nintendo come out, Sega Genesis, and then look where we're at now. We have Xbox One. We have PlayStation 4, where you walk in your room and you say, turn on History 1, History 2. Boom! It turns it on to that direct channel. It knows it knows your distinct voice. It takes optical photos of your body set, where even if your friends come in, it knows your friends' voices. So that's kind of scary, because where we're headed from here, artificial intellect. And artificial intellect, give or take, if you look at any life in general, it wants to survive. It goes in survive mode, whether it be highly intelligent, whether it be mediocre intelligent, which I believe we're advancing. We're getting more positive as our human species goes through. There's a lot of changes in the Middle East that are affecting right now. I would say maybe the past 3 years, there's been a lot of changes in the Middle East. And see where we're going though. We're creating a technology it's beneficiary because of our population. If we didn't have this type of technology, we wouldn't be able to compute everything now. Like, we're just, like I said in one of my last lectures, if you really want to research this, it took from the beginning of time till 1979 to hit 1 billion people, and now we're at 2014, 7 point, like, I'm not even sure the number. It's getting close to 8, or yeah, it's getting close to 8 billion. So within the matter of 33 years, we've progressed that much people. That's a big number. That is a tremendously big number. But at the same time, Gaia, it's plentiful here. There's a lot of rumors saying, oh, we're running out of food, run out of water. And I believe it's all rumor. I mean, it's just, if you really look at it, we could create, if we could create artificial intelligence, AI, we could create water purifiers that could purify the salts that are in the oceans, and we'll be straight. Easy problem fix. But I believe there's a lot of organizations out there that doesn't want to have that type of technology, because they want to keep controlling. and it's coming to a depletion. Slowly, we're gonna start seeing the crookedness of the hierarchy fall, and it's happening already. It's been happening for a while now. Like I said, the past 3 years, the Middle Eastern division, the so-called kings that are ruling everybody, keeping everybody enslaved. It's changing, and if you don't believe me, just do your research. There's a lot of high names up there. I don't even want to say over this video because I don't want to. I don't want to be looked at by the CIA and all that, because the NSA, CIA, they're in Google, and Google's like, just if you say certain words and they're looking for certain people saying certain things, you're automatically gonna get recorded when you post stuff like this. So here I go, getting real diplomatical. I'm getting real deep, but at the same time, AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, so the first computer was real old school, just barely could do like certain things, and now we're getting to the point where we got the my friend has it. It's like the alien. Is it alien hardware or something like that? To the extent where it's like almost like a computer that could actually like read your vibrations of your mind. When we start getting to that level, that's when it starts getting scary, because give or take each phase that we progressively get advance more as far as like our technology and all that, it rapidly grows faster. The first computer was like the old school one, and then each segment we keep producing better computers. They keep getting. It's almost like how our population grows. Like it took us this long to hit 1 billion people till 1979, and then now we're just like boom, we're growing like too extreme. Intelligence in computer systems is the same process. If you look at it in an angle where now it's getting to the point, like I said, like computer systems could actually read your brain waves. You got the beta, you got the alpha, you got the there's certain levels of your brain frequencies, and look it up. I mean, it's just this information's out there. It's kind of like still skeptical. I'm skeptical about a lot of things I learned and research and stuff like that. But you got to keep an open mind, because anything's possible nowadays. And AI, artificial intelligence, is scary because we're creating a power generated system that may take us out one day. And it's scary because it's a possibility. It really is. Like I said, any type of creation, once it gets to a certain intellect level, it's gonna go in survival mode. And once it hits that survival mode, you get hostile. Just look at like certain countries and stuff. Like, okay, we're predominant in the United States because we were hostile at one point. We had to do what we had to do, which is kind of a sad thing, but at the same time, we had to do what we got to do. We're one of those type of collective states, that even fought against each other, in the civil war and all that, created a united kingdom, United States, not a United Kingdom, but United States. And then, we have certain countries where we trade with and all that, where we're still kind of good because of the trading system, but are we really good through economical? There's just, it's almost like a love and hate type of relationship type thing. So like I said, any type of creation, once it gets to a certain level, goes in survival mode. And I heard this talk show this morning which really opened my eye, because I never really looked at it. One of my favorite movies is I, Robot. I mean, that movie's G as hell. If you haven't seen that, you better watch it. That movie's like so before its time. But if you watch that movie, it's a preordained way of like looking at, we're creating this type of stuff. In China, they're creating they're already, I believe they're already in effect. It's kind of funny, but at the same time, if the computer systems we've created are rapidly growing in not so much intellect, but like the megabytes and the gigabytes and all that, now we're up to, I don't even know how much. Like now, if we create this artificial intelligence, which is already there, if we put it in charge of like our stock market, our our defense systems and all that, it's really kind of a no-brainer. I believe that, and a lot of high scientists are looking into this and saying, hey, this is like a major threat. And through time, time is like, right now it's a warp zone, because anything's possible. It could happen within the next 10, maybe 10, 15 years. I mean, think about in 10, 15 years how much more technology we're gonna have. What type of vehicles are we gonna be driving? They're gonna be smart vehicles. We probably won't even be behind the wheel anymore. We're gonna be okay. I'm in this destination. I want to hit this destination, and it's just gonna be reframed, and maybe it's gonna be flight. Who knows? But I foresee like a lot of change in the next 10 years. A lot of change. So I mean, I just want to throw this out there. I should open up the comment section on this video because if whoever's viewing me, which I have a small view, but I don't care. I'm still gonna be posting, but at the same time, I want some feedback now because if you think about it, it's a really interesting topic because it's open. Like it's a scenario that was in not so much program in my mind, because believe it or not, our minds are programs. We observe from the age of 0 through 7 the most in our lifetime. We're programmed so much, and those of you that have children that are like that age or whatever, just watch what you say because our brains are so powerful. Thought is so powerful. It's amazing. Like if you really look in the science if you look in the brain science or mind science, I should say, like our brains are so powerful. We absorb so much, and then now as we grow and we get to a certain level or we get to a certain age, all that we sucked in comes out. And if you're an abusive parent and if you neglect your child and you're never around and you never read to them or you don't sing to your child or you don't just the first 0 to 1 years old you don't say anything to your child, it's not going to be as an intellect as a child that somebody read a book to. Even though they're 0 to 1 year old, believe it or not, their mind is developing so rapidly. So my whole point about this is artificial intellect. Where are we going? We got to question what we're doing because we could be intellect, but at the same time we're going to create something that's going to not so much get smarter than we are, but it's going to compute more. It's going to all computer systems are computes faster than what we can in our mind. We could compute stuff, but a computer could just do a mathematical equation. And if you look at Einstein, for instance, he was one that just thought. He was a thinker, and then you had all these other scientists around him that did the math for him. He did some math, but he came up with these massive, crazy theories, and they were theories. They weren't proven at all. Still to this day, some of them ain't proven. So I just want to throw this out there to you guys out there. Artificial intelligence. It's kind of a scary topic because where are we going? What are we doing? And yeah, just think about that. Just think about it for one. I might post another one on this subject because it was an eye opener this morning. I was driving to work and I was listening to my talk show normal, Coast to Coast AM, and they were talking about artificial intellect, and I was just like, whoa. Like I remember hearing about it, through Terminator and like movies like iRobot, but that type of stuff you don't want to dwell on. But if you really, Space Odyssey 2001, another good one, another way before its time type thing. I mean, if you even watched that movie, it came out in, I probably wasn't even born yet. I think it was like 1979 or something. But I watched it later, and that movie's way before its time. It was just crazy. How that computer program named HAL pretty much knew that the astronauts wouldn't be able to survive, so it killed them. It just pretty much took them out to get to point A to point B. And see, there you go, survival mode. If this artificial intellect could foresee and calculate and say, hey, you want to know what, these humans, they're not going to get to the point we need to get at. They're going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to take us out, and it's kind of scary. Watch Terminator 3, or Terminator 2 is one of my favorites, but Terminator 3 is another good one. So I just want to throw this out there, the subject. I'm probably going to open up the comment section for this video. So hopefully everybody's doing well out there. I know this is kind of a weird, kind of off the wall subject, but if you really think about it and you look at science, this is a really critical subject because we got to start thinking more about what we're doing. I'm just a normal person. I can't really do too much about it, but as a masses, like we need to start informing people about certain things like this. Yeah, I'm a spiritual person. Yeah, I talk about spiritual things, but you got to look at real life type things too, though. Like you got to start focusing. I'm gonna start focusing on topics like this because it's the real deal. So yeah, Yahin here. Hopefully everybody's doing good out there, and I'll be posting. I'll be seeing you guys pretty soon. All right, take care. God bless, and be one with the source. All right, peace out. I'll be, like I said, I'll be seeing y'all guys and gals soon. Late.